Hello and welcome to the top 10 Colosseum units in One Piece Treasure Cruise. Colosseums are one of the most unique contents in the game since you get 4 stages prior to the actual boss, which are kind of like mini puzzles that you get to clear and get nice little prizes like gems and cotton candy. And the final bosses themselves are usually pretty decent units, being stronger than Fortnite's but generally weaker than raid bosses. That will all probably change once we get the 50 stam Colosseums, but we're talking about the global units only for now, and there's still a great bunch of units even before we get stuff like Eiichiro. So we'll be looking at these units and comparing their stats, specials and captain abilities of course. So with all that said, let's get started. At number 10 we have Brownbeard, who is a Psy powerhouse slasher. He has 2500 HP, a clean 1000 attack and 220 RCV, which is pretty decent. His captain ability boosts the attack of slashes by 1.5 times and the HP by ×2, which is pretty garbage, but his special is pretty nice, as he gives himself a matching orb, deals some side damage but then boosts the attack of all slashes by 1.5 times. Since slasher teams are the backbone of free-to-play players, getting a class booster for free is really good, especially if you can't get 3-day 2-year Zoro or Koza from the rare recruit. Giving himself a matching orb is also nothing to snuff at, considering that it's actually quite hard to get full matching on free-to-play slasher teams. Though he's not an amazing unit, he is really good, as I said, for free-to-play players, and can take your slasher team just to that very next level. Obviously paired with Raid Mihawk as a captain and Raid Doflamingo as a sub, you can do a ton of damage as a free-to-play player. Though he's probably outclassed by Saga, who's coming out on the next Colosseum batch, he might not be around for a lot since he's a movie character, but Brownbeard will probably be appearing quite a lot in Colosseum, so grab him if you can. At number 9 we have Smoker, who is an int driven striker. His captain ability boosts the attack of strikers by ×2, reduces the damage received up to 30% depending on your current crew's HP, which is not too bad. He has pretty nice stats with 2727 HP, 1289 attack and 234 RCV. The main reason he's on this list is his special, which reduces the crew's current HP by 20%, which is obviously not very nice, but deals 10 times the amount he lost in int damage, and then amplifies the effect of orbs by 1.75 times for 1 turn. A 1.75 times orb boost is obviously very strong, especially getting it for free, but he's quite low on this list because losing 20% of your max HP isn't great in most situations, and the fact that Raid Doflamingo is a ×2 booster and then lets you manipulate some orbs as well, so he's pretty outclassed in that regard. But he of course has some benefits over Doflamingo. If you're using an int or striker team, he is better, and on driven teams, if you need 2 turns of orb boosting, having him and Doflamingo on at the same team isn't too bad. His HP cut is of course pretty nice for teams that do require you to be at low HP, such as Whitebeard teams, or even Colosseum Origi. A pretty nice unit overall, but as I said, pretty much gets outclassed by Doflamingo, so you won't see too much use for him if you only have 1 slot for an orb booster. Nevertheless, if you have nothing else to farm, no reason not to get him. At number 8 we have Alvida, who is a quick free spirit striker. Her captain ability boosts the attack of quick characters by ×2 and reduces the damage received by 10%, which is kinda meh. Her stats aren't too bad, having 2092 HP, 1000 attack and a pretty decent 307 RCV. And once again, the reason she's on this list is her special, which deals 13 times her character's attack in quick damage, which is not really worth mentioning, but reduces damage received by 75% for 1 turn and amplifies the effect of orbs by 1.5 times for 1 turn as well. Arguably, Smoker is more powerful, but Alvida tops him on this list because she is actually pretty unique, being the only orb booster and damage reducer in the game. I mean, there's also Tom, but Tom sucks, so let's not talk about him. This is obviously a pretty versatile special on a relatively short cooldown, so you can use it for both the orb boosting and the damage reduction, but obviously most of the time you won't be using both on the same turn, but there might be some situations where you need both, especially in some training forests, but for the most part it's going to be one or the other. Of course, having an orb booster and a damage reducer on one character means you have a free slot for something else, which might be super useful. There's also not that many great quick free spirit characters you can get for free, so another addition for your time skip Luffy teams or anything other free spirit teams that you might have. A little niche in most situations, and there are obviously better options out there, but I think the versatility allows it to be pretty strong. Up next we have Basil Hawkins, who is a Dex Cerebral Striker and has a very long captain ability. He boosts the attack of Cerebral and Striker characters by ×2 and deals 5 times the damage he took on the previous turn as dex damage to all enemies. Now before you ask, no, the Striker and Cerebral boosts do not stack if you're a Cerebral Striker character. That would be too damn broken. I don't think there's a real rule in the way they word it to know if they're not gonna stack or not. I think the only way to know is like if it seems too OP, it's not gonna stack. He has pretty decent stats with 2239 HP, 1278 attack and 347 RCV. But the main reason he's on this list is his special, which changes the top row of your orbs to strength, the middle row to dex orbs, and the bottom row to quick orbs. This makes him a very powerful orb manipulator for many teams such as Whitebeard, Log Luffy, and Gear 3. As well as, of course, the free-to-play timeskip Luffy. He fills a niche very well in those situations for rainbow teams that don't have orb manipulation, and in most situations you don't even need another guy, just him by himself will give you all the orbs you need. You could of course also use him for orb manipulation on Cerebral and Striker teams, but of course will be a little bit more finicky. But paired with stuff like maybe Rare Recruit or Nigumo, you can get a lot more use out of him as well. A kind of niche special, but very powerful in all the situations you can use him in.
な覚悟もねえ奴らがこの海に来るんじゃねえよ!
Up next we have Captain Kid, who is a strength-driven striker, and I do not own him. No one will notice. He has pretty great stats with 2727 HP, a pretty strong 1319 attack and 224 RCV. His captain ability is actually pretty damn strong, boosting the attack of driven characters by ×2 or 2.75 times if you're below 30% HP, which is actually really nice. Like a 2.75 times captain just for free is really good. Though captains that force you to be below 30% aren't really that strong normally, having a 2 times boost when you're not below 30% more than makes up for it. To add to that, his special is also very strong, emptying all your slots and then dealing strength damage based on a number of strength slots you had before you emptied them. This special can not only do a lot of damage, but also empties your orbs, meaning that you can get full matching orbs with Raid Kuma. So that's a really strong combo for your driven and strength teams. You could also pair up with Blackbeard teams, deal a crap ton of damage with specials, and then do a lot of damage with basic attacks as well, so that's really nice. Overall, just a really solid unit, not going to be on every team obviously, but on the teams that he is on, he's going to be very strong. Just make sure you know it's him and not the Rare Recruit version. Up next we have Killer, who is a dex slasher striker. He boosts the attack of striker and slasher characters by 2.75 times when they have a matching orb, or ×2 otherwise, and reduces your RCV to 0. His captain ability is not too shabby, actually doing a pretty decent amount of damage, and the RCV loss is nothing too sad. He has pretty lopsided stats with a pretty meh 1879 HP, an okay 189 RCV, but a massive 1424 attack. His special is really nice, changing all strength and quick orbs on striker and slasher characters into matching orbs and cutting the HP of one enemy by 7%. The HP cut is a little bonus, but the orb manipulation on slasher and striker teams is really nice. For strikers, with Fortnite Kraken you can get a full board of matching orbs, and on slasher teams you can use Raid Onigumo and get full matching orbs provided you don't have any RCV or TND orbs. His dex typing is pretty good since there's not that many free to play strikers that are dex, but there are a ton of dex slashers, which is kind of a downside. But another upside is that he's a striker slasher, meaning he can be used on Blackbeard teams to fulfill the class requirements to get his captain ability, meaning you can free up a slot for someone else. A good beat stick, a pretty decent captain, and a pretty powerful orb manipulator to boot. I'd say he's pretty decent. Up next we have X-Drake, who is a Psy Cerebral powerhouse unit. He has pretty nice HP at 2599, a decent 1230 attack, and 300 RCV. His captain ability boosts the attack of all characters by 2.5 times if you're below 30% at the beginning of the turn. Now I said previously being below 30% to get the attack boost isn't great, but the fact that it's rainbow is really strong. So you can pair them up with Whitebeards and do a ton of damage, with no typing, classing or color restrictions. Colosseum Urigi also has the same captain ability, but X-Drake's special puts him over the top since it deals 25 times his attack and side damage, and if you're below 30% gives you 3 matching orbs, if he's a sub that is. If he's a captain you only get 2. Obviously a great sub for Whitebeard teams, but as a captain he isn't too bad either. If your box is kind of all over the place, you know, you have like damage reducers and orb boosters that aren't all going to be fitting on the same team, having an X-Drake and a Whitebeard friend captain is going to help you a lot. Cerebral powerhouse typing isn't amazing. Generally, it's better to have 2 basic classes like fighter or slasher than to have 2 of the newer ones like powerhouse and cerebral, but it's not the end of the world. You can of course also use him as an orb manipulator on legend crop teams as well, since he will be below 30% for sure to get his max amount of damage out. So as a sub, he has a lot of uses for low HP teams. He is outclassed by young Whitebeard as the captain if you can grab one of him, but if not, you can still use X-Drake, since most of the time you'd have to get below 30% anyway to use a Whitebeard friend. Maybe I'm biased because I really like rainbow captains, but X-Drake is still pretty strong in my opinion. Up next we have Jozu, who is a strength powerhouse fighter, which is a very common combination. He has really strong stats with 2748 HP, 1299 attack and 249 RCV. His captain ability boosts the attack and HP of strength characters by ×2, the same thing as Raid Kuma but being free to play, joining Raid Garp and Raid Aokiji as the free to play ×2 captains. His special is pretty damn powerful, dealing 30 times his attack and strength damage to all enemies and then boosting attack of all characters by 1.5 times if you're below 30% HP. This of course makes him perfect for Whitebeard teams and the aforementioned X-Drake, and of course is super useful because it's actually quite hard to get a boost that will affect everyone, not just a class or typing. Obviously a 1.5 times boost isn't the biggest one you can get, but you know, it's free to play and it's rainbow, so what do you want? He of course also makes a really strong strength captain if you need that as well. So overall has a lot of power and versatility. It would have been nice if he wasn't strength, since if you're going to use him on a Whitebeard team, that's 3 strength characters already, but you know, can't be too picky. Great stats, great captain ability, and a very powerful special to boot. What more could you ask for? Number 2, we have the newest character to be added to Colosseum at the time of this video, Zephyr, who is a strength-driven fighter. Interestingly, sharing no typings with his raid boss form. He has pretty mammoth stats with 2620 HP and 1500 attack, but 0 RCV, but you know, I guess that's better than having minus RCV. His captain ability is pretty damn powerful, boosting the attack of all characters by 2.75 times until you don't hit a perfect, and reducing your current HP by 10% at the end of each turn. Obviously not ideal for long runs such as training forests, but if you're doing just a Fortnite or even a raid boss, it can be very powerful. But of course very nerve wracking if you don't hit a perfect, and of course meaning you can't clear good and great barriers and stuff like that. But aside from his glass cannon captain ability, he also has a very powerful special. First reducing your current HP by 80%, which kinda sucks, but then dealing 10 times the amount of HP subtracted in typeless damage to one enemy, and then boosting the attack of strength and int units by 1.75 times for one turn. Being a type booster for 2 colors is great, but obviously since he's not int, it's not going to be perfect for int teams. But for strength teams on the other hand, it's really powerful. And once again, if you're using a Whitebeard team, this guy is really strong since he will of course reduce your HP to below 20%. And if you're using just a strength and int team for Whitebeard, it can have a 1.75 times boost to boot. Colosseum Zephyr is just a beast with such great stats and his powerful captain ability and special. It's just a shame that he probably won't be appearing so much since he's a movie character, but just like last time, I'm sure he will return once again when the time is right. AKA when Bandai Namco needs some more money. And at number 1 we have Apu, who is a quick free spirit shooter. He has pretty great stats with 2309 HP, 1190 attack and 351 RCV. His captain ability is awesome, boosting the attack of shooter and free spirit characters by ×3 after a chain of good, great and perfect. This means you can pair him up with a plethora of great legend captains such as Strong-Willed Ace, Timeskip Luffy and Log Luffy. But where he really shines once again is his special, which increases the damage received by ×2 for 2 turns and reduces the RCV heal by 90%, but boosts the attack of free spirit and shooter characters by 1.75 times for 1 turn. Now straight off the bat, the drawbacks are pretty much non-existent, since when you use your type boosters to do your burst of damage, you're generally doing it just before you're about to beat the stage, so there's going to be no more turns after this anyway. Added to the fact that it's both for free spirit and shooter characters is amazing. The fact that he's quick as well is really nice, since free spirit and shooter could really use good quick units. Apu is just disgustingly good, just great stats, great captain ability and great great special that all have synergies together. You can use him as a captain, as a sub. I mean, he's just really strong. And unlike Zephyr, you don't lose 80% of your HP when you use his special. I definitely recommend getting this guy if you don't have Raid Zephyr, who isn't around very much, or Legend Sabo, because you know he's a legend. It's not like very likely that you'll have him. In my opinion, he's a top tier unit that rivals even the best raid bosses and rare recruits. Just not legends. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you thought I missed out any Colosseum units, list them in the comments below and tell me I'm wrong. If you like this video, please like, comment and subscribe to see more videos like it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, my Nakama!